I mean, it sounds a little bit like a bad B movie. Are we sure that everything the Ukrainians are feeding us is accurate?
No, of course not. And we wouldn't expect it. And there are things that are being faked. And there is a 10% chance that this is something we don't know about. But we can take Putin's very words and look at them. He may be a propagandist. He may be a liar. He may be a cold-blooded reptilian Machiavellianist. But still, in propaganda, there's truth. He said just the other day that the fact that the Ukrainians were sending troops into eastern Ukraine was what really caused this. Now, that's probably true. What we know about Putin is he's an extremely loyal guy. He set up some rebels to ferment trouble there, and there were people who wanted to do it on their own. And suddenly, the Ukrainian state air force and tanks come rolling in. They're bombing cities in the eastern part of Ukraine, and they're about to roll his guys. So he says, wait a minute, we're going to get back at this. And kind of like when the Rolling Stones hired Hell's Angels to do security at Altamont, things got out of control. He's really slammed the car door on his own hands and his own feet. He didn't want this shoot down, but did he order it?
So, Jonathan,
no.
Okay, so I mean, it sounds like you think that in some ways Putin is getting a bad rap here.
Oh, I don't think he's getting a bad rap because Putin is not a good guy, but what he's doing is for what he believes is his own country's position and goodwill. And Putin has decided a couple years ago to make himself more popular after the unrest at home, after the middle classes, the yummies, the young, upwardly mobile Muscovites went on demonstrations against him by playing against the big evil monster, the United States, by stirring up nationalism. And it's worked.
Yes, it has worked.
He is terribly effective.
And the public opinion polls back at home show that something like 80% support what Putin has done. But, Bob, I want to ask you about a couple of things that Putin has done in the past, say, 48 hours. The rebels handed over the black boxes when they found them. U.S. officials didn't know that they were going to do that. After a woefully long time, they have begun to send the bodies back home. And he is allowing international investigators into, or I should say the rebels are allowing international investigators into the crime scene. So what does that tell you? Does that mean that Putin is backing off a little bit?
He's backing off, but he's not exactly contrite. He should have done this from day one. The quickest way in was coming through Russia, international investigators. He's not provided any intelligence, and he's not going to. I used to work with Russian intelligence for years, and they never gave us anything, and they're not going to give us something like this, which is a crime. He's going to drag his feet as long as he can until we all go off the air and stop talking about it, because right now the Europeans are not lifting a finger against Russia, namely going after the energy sector. So he hasn't really paid a price. And the fact that the fighting is continuing and he's sending more weapons into the eastern Ukraine, he's going to continue as is and pay, I don't think, in the end, very much for this.